Hi there, you found Queen V Crafts, my channel all about my crafting life. My name is Eve, my pronouns are she, her, and today is Flosstube number 31. It is the 1st of March 2026, so happy March. Excited to start this new month and talk to you all about what I got up to in February. I had a finish, I had a start, and I worked on 7 projects in addition to the other two. So let's just go ahead and get right in. I guess really quick, I did get new glasses. So I have my new frames on today. I love them. They are so fun. It's kind of weird being able to see for the first time in a year or so. So I can actually like read my notes while I'm sitting back here and they're like on my desk in front of me. So that's kind of cool. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into the projects. The finish that I had for February, well, since my last video, I finished Moon Moth by DMC. This is a free pattern you can get off of the DMC website. And honestly, this one, if I had just focused, like, let's be real for a second. All of my small projects, if I just focused on them for like 4, 5, 6 maybe days, they would have been done in that amount of time. But anyways, Moon Moth I started April 2nd, 2024 and finished 20 of February 2026. It looks so cool. I love it on the black Ada. And that's what that looks like. I stitched on 18 count black Ada 1/1 with the called for DMC. Most things now I'm realizing I like 2 strands on 18 count because it just looks a little bit sparse. I mean, you can see the X's, they're very well defined, which is really cool. Really neat. But coverage wise, I think this one would have looked even more vibrant if I had done 2 strands. So you live and you learn. Almost all of my 18 count projects that are 1 strand, I kind of wish I had done 2 stranded now. So anything that I start now on 18 or 36, depending on the type of chart it is, I stitch with 2 strands, but we're getting through the older projects first, and that includes this one. So really excited to have it done. That's Moon Moth from DMC, and if you're interested, the free pattern links are always listed in my description box. So that is Moon Moth. And that's my finish to show y'all. Next is the start that I have. This is part of the round robin that I'm doing with the Millennial Fabrics Facebook group. We're stitching Rosetta. I am working on Heather's piece. I started on February 20th, and I have gotten, as I try to hold it up while it's still in the Q-snap, I've gotten to here. This will be a goal to finish this first week of March if I can manage it, so that I can send it out and start on the next one that I have. This is a 18 count fabric, I believe. She didn't give the fabric count on there, but we are stitching with 2 strands. And I'm employing my the nifty trick that I have found that I like best for stitching 2 strands, which is to use 1 strand of fabric and just go over the same spot twice. So like I do my X's from lower left to top right. So I'll go from lower left to top right, and then lower left to top right, and then lower right to top left, lower right to top left. And I get the same coverage as it would as using 2 strands while stitching with 1 thread. And it's a little bit more time consuming, but the finished X's, in my opinion, look really neat, while still giving that coverage that you like with 2 strands. I don't have to worry about railroading or anything because they lie either right next to each other or right on top of each other every time, which I think is great. So yeah, here is Heather's project. I have all of the rest of it kind of curled up around here. You can see some of the colors that have been used. But yeah, I'll make sure I take pictures once I get this one finished, because I will probably have it sent off by the time I record next. At least that is the goal. So, I don't know if I mentioned, I'm using a Mosale silk called Fright Night. It's this beautiful dark blue, purple mix. It's very pretty. Okay, so those are the finish and the start, and now we can talk about WIPs, works in progress, so things that I have started and not finished since the last time that I saw you all. They've been projects I've been working on for a while. The first project to show is Candie by Whittier Stitches. This was a WIPGO call for February. I was tasked to stitch 200 stitches. I did 280. Here's where it was before, and here's where it is now. Candie is being stitched on 32 count gingerbread from Picture This Plus. I am doing the called for DMC for the blue dress and skin tone 2. And pretty much from here up for her, I still have the smaller moon left to do on this upper half, is done minus backstitch and beads. And she's so pretty. She's so pretty. I tasked myself to try and finish this one by the end of 2026 because she is a 2023 WIP. And she was supposed to be a model stitch for Kat, and I just, no, couldn't get her done in a reasonable amount of time. However, she is the reason that me and Kat are friends, so I do have that that I got out of this project. So there she is in all her glory. I worked on the bottom of this moon and a little bit here in the dress. I do have this giant skirt left to do, so we'll get there. We'll get there. That's Candie. And like I said, I would like to try to have her done by the end of this year. Okay, Next WIP is the Stardew Valley map. Mine is from ChiChiZeKitty. It was a free pattern from following a certain Twitch streamer a couple of years ago. And I know you can get other versions of the Stardew Valley map. This is just the one that I'm stitching. It's massive. Massive. It's a very small relative full coverage, but full coverage nonetheless, so it's big. Please disregard all of my crazy perked threads. It's just the best way that I found to stitch full coverage. Here's where it was the last time that I showed it. Here's where it is now. I have to back up so far to get this all in frame. This one I am stitching on 16 count easy grid with the called for DMC 2/1. And I know, I think since the last time I totally straightened out this diagonal, which is the top left hand corner. Yeah. And I found that I prefer to stitch my full coverage starting in the top right. So I can't even hold this and accurately talk about it because it's so big. So I finished out this diagonal that had a couple spots left, and I just cleaned it up so that I can continue to work on this side all the way down. And we're getting there. I would love to have this one done also by the end of this year. I don't think that's possible. So again, I set a 50% goal for last year. I think we're gonna shoot for 50% again this year. And then, you know, once I hit that mark, it'll be a goal of 75% and then a finish. And we'll see if this takes a year or two left. Hopefully within the next year or so it'll be done and I can display it. It's been a long time coming. This one has been, this is not my oldest WIP, but this is my second oldest WIP. And I would like to have it done, you know? So that is the Stardew Valley map. I guess I should mention that was also a WIPGO call for February. I was also tasked to do 200 stitches and did 227. Alrighty. Next project is No Time Like the Present by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is the chart that I pulled for my Sal a month. That I have all of my Sals on a spinner wheel and I roll at the beginning of the month and it picks a project for me and I work on that one. I try to get like 200 stitches. I don't really I keep track because I use Notion, but I don't really like write down, okay, I did this many stitches on it. I just kind of work on it for like 2 or 3 days and that usually gets me to 200, 250 stitches, which is great because this is actually a project that I have on my WIPGO as well. And so it's getting steady progress this year. Enough chatter about it. Here's where it was the last time that I showed it, and here is where it is now. I can't even get in full frame with it now. It's all the way to the bottom. You've seen the top several times, so I'm just gonna scoochy it up a little bit. This one I'm stitching on 18 count, very light pewter Ada from Witchelt, using 2 strands, 2 colors of DMC. It's in the 38-40 range for both of them. I don't remember if it's 38-47 and 38-49 or 38. No, that sounds right. 38-47 and 38-49. That I think is what it is. If I'm wrong, it's all of my projects are always down below. There is a Google, not a sheet, Google Doc, that's what it is, that I've set to be like view only, and you can see all of the projects that I have in progress and when they were started and what fabric they're on, how I'm stitching. So if you're interested, that information is all listed below as well. And here is No Time Like the Present. It's moving along. I think if I could go back in time, all of my large BAP, extra large projects, something like this, I would have put on either 25 count over 1 or at least 20 count over 2, because they are so big and I don't know what I'm gonna do with some of these to display them when I'm done. So yeah, that's No Time Like the Present. Moving right along, that's actually, I believe, a WIPGO call for March, so that one will get more work, as well as Stardew Valley. They're both March WIPGO calls. So that is those 3. The next project that I have to show is the Quaker of Hearts from Modern Folk Embroidery. I pulled out all of my Valentine's, love, pink, red related projects for the end of February. Like, I say end, it was like the week before, I almost said Halloween, the week before Valentine's Day, and then for the rest of the month I worked on some of those projects. So I first pulled out Quaker of Hearts. It looked like this last time. Here's where it is now. This one is on 36 count Winter Moon from Zweigart with 1 strand over 2 of classic Colorworks Ribbon Red. And we're shaping up. We're all the way to this is the full width and the full height. It's not as big as I thought it was going to be. So I'm just going to continue to work this Quaker motif down to the bottom, fill it in, fill this one in, finish the fill in on this, and then I will just have the little tree and the birds, and then I think there's a couple more little doodads around there, and then this one will be done. Like a true Quaker like this doesn't really draw me in as much anymore. I will say the Schwartzwald Quaker from Owl Forest did, because it's not like your traditional Quaker motifs. There's like forest elements inside of each Quaker medallion, but these don't really spark joy for me. But I wanted a Valentine's Day love project for my husband and I. That's our initials and the year we were married. And so this one will be able to be displayed for probably all year, if we're being honest, or maybe I'll hang it up all year in my craft room and it'll move to a display spot during February going forward. But that is Quaker of Hearts, and it's coming along very nicely. I will say, the one thing that I do like about Quaker projects, or like projects similar that are monochromatic and like the same shape a bunch of times, it is really easy to get into a stitch pattern and just go. Like, you're not really having to think about counting or changing anything. You just like, okay, this is the best way for me to get from point A to point B, and I just do the same thing until I get down there. So that is nice about projects like that, but the monotony also kind of is a detriment, you know? So anyways, after Quaker of Hearts, I pulled out Follow Your Heart from Silver Creek Samplers. This one, I decided I wanted to make a floss change. The light pink that I was using for some of the wording, I, kind of held it up and looked at it from a distance and realized I couldn't really read those words on this fabric. So I picked out what was in there, restitched some of it, and then a new color that I think is much better. But here's where it was and where it is. You can't even see, like, this heart right here is in the old pink, and you can barely see it. So this is on 32 count truffle from Picture This Plus. The old words were here and here. This is what's been restitched in the new color, and that's much better because you can barely see like the heart here, there's one up here. Certain light it's okay, but this fabric never comes across true in video. It is definitely pink, and it's like almost the exact same tone as what I chose for the lighter color. So big shout out to Addie's Cross and Quilts. I said, hey, this is what I'm using, can you go find me a shade darker? And she picked out this one. So I think it is only like 1 or 2 shades darker of DMC than what I was using, and I think it looks great, much better. And now I just have to decide whether I want to pick out each of the little hearts as well and put in the new color, or if I just leave those alone and carry on how I was. Anywho, follow your heart. And I'm making progress. Most of these things, like, they're small enough I could just pull out and finish, but they're also like Valentine's themed in my opinion, and I kind of want to work on them only in February, so we'll see. I have a list of projects that I want to get done before the end of the year. If I get to, I don't know, October, and I've done like all of the things on that list, I might pull out some of these other small projects and try and work on them till they get done. This is another example of a small project that if I just worked on it, I could get it done. But it's pink and cute, and I like working on it in February, and that is Strawberry Milk from Annie B's Folk Art. I was here the last time, and here is where I am now. I'm stitching this one on 40 count toe beans from Beez Stitch Me. I came up with the color conversion. Some of the stuff is the same, but I did have to change the tones of some of them because working on a pink fabric versus a neutral. I managed to finish the entirety of the house minus the chimney and the smoke hearts coming out of there. And I did do some backstitch around each of these windows and around the door just to make it pop a little bit more. And worked on that flower stem. I think that's all I worked on in this one, but that fill-in, I was like, only had a little bit of this, the bottom part of the house, but I did all the fill-in on the rest of it. That was a lot, let me tell you. Yeah, it's super cute. I love this pink cow. I think that he's darling. Or I guess she, because it's talking about how strawberry milk comes from pink cows, and I would hope that we're not getting strawberry milk from boy cows. Anywho, strawberry milk side, let's talk about lovebirds from Autumn Lane Stitchery. This one, I don't think I pulled out all last year, so I definitely wanted to get a little bit more work on this this year. So I pulled it out, and here's where it was. Here's where it is. Fabric is 25 count Victorian red, I believe, Lugana. I'm stitching with one strand over one, and I think this is just DMC Blanc, and then there's an accent color, like to do some backstitch and some leaves down here. So I just found one that matched my fabric. And I worked up in this corner of the heart, and I think it's looking really cool. It's so tiny, I mean, like, it's smaller than my hand is, and I love it. I think I will turn this one into a pillow. I think I might actually do like a shaped pillow, like make it more heart-shaped. I think that would be fun. But I've only ever made one pillow, and it was totally square. And so I might want to do a couple more pillows, maybe something round, or something like that before I attempt this one. So yeah, that is Lovebirds. And that's the last WIP to show you all. I have just a little bit of acquisitions. I'm really trying to stay on my no-buy. Not totally working, but trying. And then we'll talk about books and a little bit of sewing. Sound good? But first, let's do plans for March. And I think I'm going to readjust myself so I'm a little bit more comfy in my new chair, which is a swing chair. It's an outdoor like hammock chair that we got at Sam's Club, and it's very comfortable. It's just I have to sit in a certain way, like to have it be upright, or I'm gonna be like totally lost. So let me readjust myself really quick, and then we can talk about plans, and then we'll go through haul and other stuff. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I apologize if the me rocking back and forth kind of makes you motion sick. I'm trying to stay as still as I can, but it's more comfortable for me to sit with my legs crossed, and so I'm not touching the floor, therefore nothing bracing me from moving back and forth. Adjust my camera angle just a little bit, so yeah. Plans. WIPGO is first up. What I will work on first is No Time Like the Present. That one is gonna get, let me move to my March page in my plans journal. So No Time Like the Present, the number was 4. That is a block for 500 stitches on my board. Then we're gonna work on Stardew Valley, which was number 3. Only gonna put 100, give or take, stitches into that one. Then I have the I Spy prompts, the Crafts and Books Acrostic, and my Sal a month already listed in my journal. So I'll hold this up so you can see all of those. Trying not to be too shaky, and I can't even see the camera now. So as you can see, Plants and Petrichor from Fine Frog Stitching is what I'm going to work on for Sal a month. And we'll see what else I slip in to fill the I Spy prompts and the Crafts and Books Acrostic. On my to finish list, I have Butterfly Duo from Leisure Arts, and he is Risen from A New Creation Studio. Both of those I would like to have done in March, but I would also like to try to do, if I want to have it done by when I want to have it done, I need to work on Rainbow Crossing as well, and need to do 1200 stitches in March, April, and May to get that one done mid to late June, which will be the anniversary of my first dog's passing. So No Time Like the Present and Stardew Valley will come first, and then I will work on Plants and Petrichor, and then I think I'm going to turn my attention to Rainbow Crossing, try and hit that stitch goal, and then pull out Butterfly Duo and He Is Risen and work on those until they're done. That might not happen in March, that might be early April, but we'll work through it. And then I also want to finish Heather's Rosetta and start on the next one that I've got so that those can both be shipped out and we can get closer to wrapping up this whole project. And then I have some gift stitching to do. Would like to try to have this project done by April 1st so that I can get it fully finished in time for when it's to be gifted. Okay, let's do acquisitions. That's everything that I've got plans wise. I'm going to pause really quick, do a little reset so that I can reach all of my stuff, and I will be right back. Okay, now we can talk acquisitions. I haven't bought a ton. Most sale silk tends to be what I've been buying the most of. So I have like three weeks worth of Mo's to show you. Actually, no, I take that back. I have 2 weeks worth of Mo's and 2 Valentine's Day grab bags. So I guess that was a weekend that she posted. The first set though are these beautiful blues and purples. And I didn't get a ton, only 4 different colors. So this is, let's see, if I change my light a little bit, might make it a little bit easier. This is Ashen. This one a little bit darker blue, and they're very close, is Melancholy. This purple and like kind of peachy tone is Grape Twirl. And then the last one on here is Tyrian. And then I've got this set where I only got 2 colors, Lapis and come on, Ruby Slippers, and I loved this red so much that I bought a hank. So it was a much smaller purchase this time, probably still close to the same amount of money, so I'm gonna rein it in a little bit. But I apologize, I'm going to make a lot of noise when I open this. This is the Valentine's Day grab bags. I ordered 2, as well as 2 hanks of She Now Carries white silk. And I was like, I should probably have that neutral also in my stash. So I've got black, and now I've got bag. Now I've got white also, and it's kind of, it's not like a pure bright white. It's more of a like ecru-y shade of white, off-white, cream, whatever you want to call it. But I actually prefer a not super bright white when I'm stitching. It just looks a little bit softer in my opinion. If there are things that I need a bright white for, obviously I know to use B5200 or even like Blanc. But for the most part, when I'm stitching, I use 3865 as my white. So that is those hanks. And now the grab bag. Grab bags, plural. Some of these I do already know that I have. I recognize the names. But some I think I don't have already. I know that I have that one. Don't recognize that name. Or that one. Or that one. That one. Glad I had, there's a lot of them in here that I don't already have. Ooh, 2 skeins of this one, that's great. Oh. Pretty sure I have. Awesome. So I ordered 2 grab bags. I got some of the same things, but some are different, which is really awesome. So this will just start pulling out here. I got 2 skeins of Bach, and I don't know, that's not a Wicked reference because that's not spelled correctly. So I don't know what this is inspired by, but there is that. And then I got 2 skeins of Jack Sparrow. This one I do already have 2 skeins of, so I'll have to come up with a really cool monochromatic. Maybe I'll do a long dog in this color because now I have so much of it. I have 2 skeins of Old Moss. I don't think I have this color already. It's a really, really beautiful green. I'm excited to put that into a project. And I think the rest are all singles. This one I know I have already. This is Long Island. So one more skein of that. I already have this one as well. This is Berkshire. And this is really pretty minty green. Bloody Mary. This is Siobhan. Tamales. I would like to know where this name comes from, Miss Beetle. I don't recognize that spelling. I'm assuming it's either a movie or a book. Same thing with Gimot. I feel like I've heard that before as a character in a movie or a book, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Also Tulum, really pretty. Oh, another skein of Berkshire. I thought there was two in here. So 2 skeins of that. And then last but not least is Tulips. That's this really pretty green and pink and orange variegated. Love that. That's really pretty. And that's all my Moo Sale silk. I went to 3 Stitches for February's second Saturday Stitchers group, and every time I go, so once a month, I buy 5 classic colorworks and 5 gentle art. So this month my classic colorworks were Goldfish, Granny Annie, which I think is the best dark blue overdyed on the market. It's beautiful. Hazelnut, Heatherly, and Grasshopper. And then from Gentle Art, Mustard Seed, Ohio Lemon Pie, Old Blue Paint, Old Covered Bridge, and Old Hickory. And so I've gone through all of those. I don't have anything else haul-wise, but I do have some sewing to show you, so let me get that out real quick. I am trying to perfect the way that I like to make bags, following Elizabeth Ann Stitch's project bag tutorial, but like customizing the size for something that I like. So I have made a couple that are smaller than the I think it's a 12 by 14 that she makes, and I have decided I like to make them a little bit bigger. I think this one is 18 by 16, and it's just really pretty sunflower on black print. This fabric is actually from Walmart. I'm honestly very surprised. This whole project itself, minus the interfacing, which I already had, came from Walmart. So this interior gingham fabric was also Walmart. And I cut all of my pieces, I interfaced the exterior pieces. I use Heat and Bond, the one with the purple label. It's like the extra stiff one. Once you manipulate it some, it's still flexible, but it holds shape okay. It's not great, but like once there's a project in here, it's not like super floppy. It definitely holds shape. So there's my sunflower bag. I made this one bigger for a bigger project. Don't know what's going to go in here yet, but I think I'm still trying to figure out the best size that I like, because this feels like too big. So I might take this down, maybe, what is that, like 1.5 inches, 2 inches on the side, and maybe another 1.5 inches, 2 inches on the top. That gets me closer to that 14 by 12, but I think maybe I'll change the sizing and make them a little bit taller. Maybe come in this much. So I'll just have them be like longer and skinnier. The whole point of me doing a project bag bigger is I want to be able to fit my 11 by 8 Q-snap inside. And what might actually be better is making it so it's longer and skinnier, so I can just fit the 11 by 8 Q-snap in long ways. I don't have one super handy, but you know, where it's 8 inches this way. So maybe I'll make it like 10 inch by 14 and just have it be, instead of this way, have it be this way. That was a long-winded explanation for me trying to figure out how I want to do my project bags going forward. I do already have the pieces cut and interfaced for another project bag, which is just a like vanilla 12 by 14 that I'm doing in patriotic colors. Happy birthday, America 250. That I'll then put all of my patriotic WIPs in, which I only have 2. Probably gonna finish one this year. But then I can hold patriotic pieces, red, white, and blue pieces going forward. So that is that. Sewing. Books. We'll talk books really quick. I did finish 2 books in February. Golden Sun, which is the second in the Red Rising trilogy, I think. It might be more than a trilogy. It was good. I really enjoyed it. I gave this one 4.5 stars, I'm pretty sure. I didn't write my stuff down, but I'm pretty sure it's either 4 or 4.5 stars. The way that it ended kind of bugged me, but I'm excited to read the next book and delve more into that world. And then I read and just finished, like in the nick of time, The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. And this one, again, I was reading and I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be like a happy ending, everything's gonna be great. And then it wasn't, and that was kind of like, well, the very end is a happy ending, but like the main plot point that I thought was going to be a happy ending wasn't, and that kind of really bugged me. This one I still gave 4 stars. It's a great historical fiction read. Honestly, anything by Kate Quinn is, so if you like historical fiction, a lot of her stuff is based in the like 40s, around, at least the ones that I've read, are set in like World War I, World War II, and this one was no different. I thought it was great. And that's all. I almost forgot what I wanted to say here at the end. If you liked what you saw, I guess I should have said this before we got through acquisitions, because some people dip out by then. But if you liked what you saw, consider liking, subscribing, commenting on this video. I love getting to chat with y'all in the comments. And I'm looking forward to working on my projects for March. Hopefully hit those goals, and we'll see what else I get up to. Anything else going on that I want to mention? I don't think so. Yeah. You all have a great month of March. I will talk to you at the end of March or very beginning of April. We'll see what my schedule figures out. And yeah, happy stitching until then, and I will see you next time. Bye.